Let's consider a series of amazing and truly unusual facts about Germany, a country rightly regarded as the most unique and diverse in Europe. First, this country rightly bears the name the Heart of Europe because it is located right in the center of the continent. Its geographical position is unique and features a rare phenomenon. Germany borders 9 countries simultaneously, making it one of the most neighborly and open nations on the European map. This fact clearly demonstrates how varied and border-rich the country is, since no U.S. state can boast the same number of neighboring countries, although Germany's area is roughly comparable to the U.S. state of Montana. The landscapes in this country are breathtaking in their diversity and beauty. To the south lie the majestic Alps, mountains that inspire awe among travelers and nature lovers, while in the north, 2 seas, the North Sea and the Baltic Sea, stretch out, creating a unique maritime scenery. Germany's climate is temperate and quite pleasant for living and traveling. In summer, a fresh breeze blows here, and the daytime sun shines until 10 in the evening, enabling long walks and evening activities filled with warmth and coziness. In winter, temperatures sometimes drop to -10 degrees Celsius, roughly equivalent to 14 degrees Fahrenheit, and the daylight hours shorten to 4, creating a fairy tale winter atmosphere when everything around is covered with snow and seems magical. Autumn in Germany is painted in bright shades of red, orange, and gold, especially picturesque in regions such as Bavaria and the Black Forest. These natural colors evoke genuine admiration among locals and tourists alike who come to enjoy this splendor. With a population of approximately 84 million people, Germany is the most densely populated country within the European Union. Nevertheless, there is a trend toward an aging population. Nearly 1 in 4 residents is over 65 years old, reflecting rapid societal aging and caused by low birth rates. Despite this, Germany has impressed European specialists and statisticians by becoming a leader in the number of twins born. This fact is little known to the general public, but is of interest and indicates the peculiarities of reproductive processes in the country. German culture is a true melting pot of peoples and nationalities. The country is home to many immigrants from Turkey, Poland, Syria, and other countries, enriching everyday life and making it vibrant and diverse, from cuisine to national festivals. The German language, which is official, is renowned for its complex structure and long compound words, which sometimes surprise those encountering the language for the first time. Different regions of the country have their own dialects, which give the language a special beauty and color. In large cities, English is understood everywhere, and today German ranks 3rd in popularity among languages studied worldwide, indicating its significant influence on the international stage. Let's move on to a more personal sphere. German women pay much more attention to your attitude towards them than to your nationality. In Germany, the origin is less important than behavior and respect for a partner. German women value equality in relationships and do not aspire to roles as housewives or dependents on a man. Sincerity, respect, and a willingness to share responsibilities equally are essential for them. Not only appearance matters, nor flowers or compliments, but genuine care and the ability to listen. In relationships with women from Germany, sincere communication, emotional warmth, and a homely atmosphere are highly valued, where material wealth is less important than attention and genuine interest in a partner. Personal freedom holds a special place in their values. In German society, jealousy and control are considered taboo. If you want to understand how to approach a German woman, it's worth knowing a few important nuances that can help you in this matter. First, write the number 8 and an exclamation mark in the comments, and I will gladly share valuable tips based on the culture and mentality of German women. These recommendations can significantly ease your task and help establish a sincere and harmonious connection. It's important to remember that many women from Germany appreciate honesty and straightforwardness in communication. They prefer honesty and transparency, avoiding excessive dramatization and emotional games, often used in other cultures to attract attention or manipulate. German women generally respect frankness and honesty, and these qualities help them build trusting relationships. Additionally, they highly value intellectual conversations, discussions of current topics, and a well-rounded mind, which can serve as a good foundation for developing long-term and strong relationships. In their view, sincere conversation and mutual respect are the keys to true happiness and understanding. When it comes to Germany, many immediately think of beer culture, tasty sausages, and picturesque castles that seem to come straight from fairy tales. However, for the Germans themselves, true pride and national identity lie in their automotive industry. It is in this sphere that all their achievements and technological innovations are concentrated. Brands like Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi, Porsche, and Volkswagen are not just names, they are real symbols of quality, engineering mastery, and advanced technology recognized worldwide. It's no wonder that Germany is often called the automobile capital of Europe, as it is here that cars are created that represent the pinnacle of engineering and style. Part 3 of 12. In this country, they don't just produce cars, they perfect every detail, turning the driving experience into a true art that combines innovation, precision, and aesthetic beauty. German automobiles are considered moving works of art that blend functionality, style, and durability. Thanks to this, Germany's automotive industry accounts for more than 5% of the country's gross domestic product and creates over 800,000 jobs. These cars are exported to more than 150 countries worldwide, making Germany one of the largest car exporters in the world. There is a particular feature in this. In Germany, Mercedes-Benz is not only a symbol of luxury and status, but also a common taxi. When leaving Berlin's airport, you can notice a queue of cream-colored Mercedes E-Class taxis, which speaks to the practicality and everyday necessity of this brand. In some cities, Mercedes vehicles are even used for waste collection, further confirming their practical orientation. It is precisely this combination of style and practicality that embodies the uniqueness of the German approach. Luxury here is not a sign of wealth or high status, but a function and convenience in everyday life. German cars were not created to impress or emphasize the owner's status, but to serve people flawlessly and reliably. They embody ideas of functionality, durability, and technological excellence, allowing drivers to feel confident and comfortable behind the wheel. In the modern world, Germany actively invests in research and development of electric vehicles, hybrid technologies, and alternative energy sources to maintain its leadership position in the automotive industry and meet growing environmental standards. These efforts demonstrate that the country is focused on the future, where ecological responsibility and innovation go hand in hand with high quality and technological progress. Turning to the topic of shopping, it is worth noting that in modern Germany, buying second-hand items has become an integral part of everyday life and a stylish lifestyle choice. This is not just a fashionable trend, but an important and conscious aspect of responsible consumption. Purchasing used items is considered an environmentally friendly and socially responsible act that helps reduce the burden on the environment and supports sustainable development. According to research by statistical agencies, over 22 years of the last century, nearly 40% of Germans bought second-hand clothing at least once a year, and in various corners of our country and beyond, there is a wonderful tradition, setting up street bookcases specifically designed for exchanging read books. These small street structures remind us of generosity and a love for reading, as people place their recently read novels there to give others the opportunity to experience the same emotions and enjoy captivating stories. Part 4 of 12. This gesture helps create an atmosphere of mutual assistance and trust, as anyone looking for a new book can find a true literary treasure in these shelves. And once in a while, browsing through second-hand items, you might come across real gems, rare books, antique editions, or simply unusual objects that evoke special feelings and pleasant memories. If you have such a story, share it by writing the number 6 in the comments. After all, everyone can surely share something special related to discoveries among old items or extraordinary moments experienced during book exchanges or household item swaps. Alongside this, more and more Germans are choosing to rent various items, such as repair tools, electronics, or sports equipment, instead of purchasing them permanently. This trend is becoming increasingly popular and not only helps save money, but also reduces the amount of waste generated by mass consumption. Such an approach encourages a more responsible attitude toward resources, avoiding unnecessary purchases of new goods, and supporting environmentally sustainable lifestyles. All these changes reflect a conscious shift in values, where the priority is not accumulating numerous possessions but maintaining balance and caring for nature and the environment. Let's move on to the topic of Sundays in Germany, which differ from the typical American weekends filled with lively parties, shopping, barbecues, and loud music. In the United States, Sunday often becomes a day of fun entertainment, active walks, and social gatherings, whereas in Germany, everything is quite different. Here, the rhythm of life on weekends is calmer and more measured, almost meditative, allowing people to truly relax and recharge. Germans take Sundays very seriously, and this is reflected in strict adherence to legislation that enforces a ban on work on this day. Almost all shops, large shopping centers, supermarkets, beauty salons, and even pharmacies are closed. The only exceptions are some cozy cafes, where one can enjoy a quiet rest. All of this is not due to a lack of staff or economic reasons, but is enshrined in law, which designates Sunday as an official day of rest. This means that any noisy work, such as drilling, repairs, using loud equipment or music, is prohibited to avoid disturbing neighbors and disrupting their peace. It is important to disconnect from the hustle, slow down the pace of life, and fully enjoy the moment, feeling harmony with the surrounding nature and loved ones. Instead of noisy shopping malls and crowded streets, people prefer walks in the forest, cycling routes, visiting parks, picnics in nature, or leisurely city strolls. These traditions help strengthen bonds with loved ones and fill the heart with calm and joy. Sunday morning in Germany often begins with a long, leisurely breakfast that becomes a true ritual. Family and friends gather around the table, enjoying aromatic coffee, fresh rolls, homemade apple pie with vanilla ice cream, and warm conversation. In such moments, there is no room for haste or distraction. Everything happens slowly, with a sense of genuine presence and cozy warmth. Phones and gadgets are set aside to fully focus on communication and exchanging thoughts. In Germany, one can forget about overtime work on weekends. Most employers strictly adhere to this rule, recognizing personal time as sacred. Sunday is a day when people dedicate themselves to family, friends, and hobbies, emphasizing the importance of balancing professional and personal life. A walk through the center of Berlin on a Sunday, when the city seems to be falling asleep, is a festive and vibrant start to a celebration that undoubtedly evokes a feeling of upcoming fun and joyful atmosphere. Imagine yourself in Germany, a country with a rich cultural tradition and ancient history. Being in this amazing corner of Europe, you will certainly want to raise your mug and, along with thousands of other participants immersed in the atmosphere of a true folk festival, shout something loud and joyful. Perhaps it will be a traditional German cheer meant to express unity and happiness. And if you want to take part in this lively activity, simply write the number 2 to confirm your desire to join the fun. But if, for some reason, you're not ready for such an event, then write 3, and you will learn about the most unusual and perhaps even strange types of Bavarian beer, which amaze with their variety and originality. And if you're interested in even more, then put the number 4, and you'll be introduced to modern aspects of brewing in Germany, where traditions coexist with innovations. In a country renowned for its beer for many centuries, today there are numerous craft breweries where masters experiment with new flavors, styles, and aromas, creating unique, one-of-a-kind drinks that not only delight the palate, but also inspire admiration for their creativity. German brewing culture combines respect for tradition with a desire for innovation. So number 9 is the main tourist attractions of Germany, each of which is unique and deserves special attention. If you're looking for a journey that combines classic European charm, natural splendor, and deep historical roots, then Germany will be the perfect destination for you. Of course, it all begins with the capital Berlin, where the famous Brandenburg Gate has become a symbol of peace and unity for the country. These gates, erected many centuries ago, today serve as a reminder of the most significant historical events and the unification of the German people. Next, it is worth taking a walk through neighborhoods where fragments of the Berlin Wall still remain, once a harsh border dividing the city into two parts during the Cold War. These sites are a living reminder of the past, of division and hope for unity. Equally interesting is a visit to the Museum Island, an area filled with ancient treasures, works of art, and archaeological finds that tell the story of the region's rich history. Then, look up at the glass dome of the Reichstag, through which sunlight streams, flooding the parliamentary chamber. This symbol of open democracy and transparent governance attracts tourists from around the world. For those who love fairy tales, a romantic route along the famous road leading to enchanted corners of the country is ideal. In the town of Rothenburg ob der Tauber, as if frozen in time, it seems that time has stopped. Cobbled streets, half-timbered houses, and medieval towers create an atmosphere of a true fairy tale. This city is considered one of the most picturesque in Europe. Equally charming is the town of Dinkelsbühl, where everything continues to breathe history. Quiet streets, cozy shops, and fully preserved ancient city walls that give it a special charm. To conclude the journey, one must visit Füssen, a small town in southern Germany, where magnificent alpine scenery harmoniously combines with ancient architecture. It is from here that the gates open to the famous Neuschwanstein Castle, which looks like a fairy tale castle straight out of the Brothers Grimm stories. This castle is one of Germany's most recognizable symbols. It inspired Disney creators to design the famous logo and animated films. Located among the mountains, it impresses with its fairy tale appearance year-round. In winter, when the mountain peaks are covered with snow, and in summer, when everything around turns green, it still evokes wonder. In the modern world, where everything often seems urbanized and endlessly accelerating, Germany has many small but very important rules and traditions that help maintain order, trust, and respect within society. For example, in places where someone has lost an item, local residents often act very simply and kindly. They hang the found object on the nearest tree so that its owner can easily and quickly find it. This method not only demonstrates their care and respect for others' property, but also serves as a reminder of the importance of honesty and mutual help in everyday life. Public transportation in Germany is a model of trust. Unlike many other countries, German trams, buses, and trains lack turnstiles or automatic ticket verification systems. Instead, a system based on passenger honesty operates. In the case of someone being caught without a ticket, they face a fine of approximately 60 euros. This fine serves not only as a financial penalty, but also as a quiet yet very clear reminder of the need for responsibility for one's actions. Such a system demonstrates that trust in citizens is a vital component of public order, requiring each individual to be responsible and self-disciplined. Many, especially tourists, are surprised to learn that Germans strictly adhere to traffic rules even late at night, when the streets are almost empty. For example, crossing the street on a red light is considered unacceptable even when there are no cars around, and the city's hustle and bustle have subsided. Raising children in Germany is based on a strict understanding that breaking the rules is not just a personal mistake but a bad example that can influence others. From an early age, children are taught that every action they take is not only a matter of personal responsibility, but also a contribution to shaping a healthy and decent society. Germans live as if every action, even the smallest, can leave a mark on the overall well-being. It is also important to note that honesty and sincerity are highly valued in German culture. Germans prefer to speak the truth directly, without embellishments or polite evasions. This may seem very harsh or even blunt to some, especially those accustomed to softer forms of communication. But, in reality, such honesty stems from a deep respect for the interlocutor, integrity, and inner decency. In this culture, it is not customary to smile for no reason, or pretend that everything is fine if there is a problem. Germans often do not display excessive emotion. They value sincerity and openness because they believe these qualities help build trust and strengthen relationships. This honesty and openness, combined with high responsibility and discipline, make Germany one of the most respected and comfortable countries to live in. An equally important part of German culture is a respectful attitude towards the environment. In Germany, active encouragement of waste separation is widespread, reflecting a high level of civic consciousness. They understand that caring for the environment is not only an ecological issue, but also a sign of respect for future generations. Active participation in waste sorting, the use of eco-friendly technologies, and conscious consumption all make German society a model for many countries around the world. Now let's turn to one of the most unusual and yet most fair laws existing in Germany. This concerns child support and the assistance to former spouses after divorce. In the United States, for example, alimony often ceases after a certain period once a person remarries or reaches a certain level of financial independence. However, in Germany, the situation is quite different. In this country, if after a divorce one of the spouses remains in a vulnerable financial position, for example, a woman who gave up work to raise children or earns significantly less, the other spouse, most often the husband, is obliged to pay her alimony indefinitely. In other words, such payments continue until the ex-wife enters into a new official marriage or ceases to be dependent for any valid reasons. This approach was implemented to protect the weaker, more vulnerable partner who sacrificed their career for the sake of the family. Therefore, even a Fant automat is a modern technological innovation designed to significantly simplify and make more convenient the process of handling plastic and glass bottles, as well as aluminum cans. This system is capable not only of quickly scanning any item, but also of swallowing it, meaning automatically determining the type and condition of the container. After that, the device prints a receipt, which can be used when purchasing goods in a store, as proof of return or exchanged for cash. Such a mechanism makes the process of handling bottles not only simple, but also very profitable for citizens. It is important to emphasize that this system works with different types of containers, both plastic and glass, as well as aluminum cans, with the possible exception of milk or juice bags, which are not suitable for this scheme due to their design and materials. Thanks to the implementation of such technologies, the amount of plastic and glass waste that previously often ended up in trash bins has significantly decreased. In modern society, it is common to see people collecting empty bottles and cans to exchange them for money, which is a legal and informal way to earn extra income. This approach benefits the environment, while also helping people with modest incomes earn additional funds. In Germany, this recycling mechanism has become particularly successful. The bottle return rate reaches an impressive 297%, indicating the high efficiency of the system and that most of this type of waste is returned for recycling. Such a system encourages manufacturers to use reusable containers, which in turn helps reduce waste and is an important step toward more sustainable development and environmental protection. All of this makes the recycling system not only economically advantageous, but also environmentally vital. Number 5. Germans still very much prefer cash. Despite Germany being considered one of the most advanced and developed economies in the world, it maintains its traditions and actively uses cash payments. For example, when entering a small bakery, a cozy restaurant, or a clothing store in the center of Berlin, you might hear the cashier or salesperson say, "Cash only," even when making large purchases worth several hundred euros. Most Germans prefer to pay with banknotes and coins, rather than by card. Why is that? It all comes down to a desire to maintain privacy. Germans are very cautious about their personal information and dislike having their expenses tracked and recorded in digital systems. Cash gives them complete control over their finances, allows them to limit spending, and reduces dependence on technology and electronic payment systems. There is also an economic reason for this. Fees for card usage and acquiring services are often too high, especially for small businesses and local shops. Many of them prefer to avoid using plastic cards to avoid additional charges, making cash even more attractive and in demand. This fact is especially important for travelers planning trips to Germany. It is always recommended to carry a sufficient amount of cash. Although ATMs are available in almost every corner of the country, most Germans withdraw money only for a few days ahead. This is a well-established habit, formed over many years of frugality and discipline. In a world increasingly shifting to digital payments and cashless transactions, Germany maintains its old good traditions, a simple, reliable, and disciplined cash system. There is an active social movement in this country, advocating for the preservation of cash as an essential element of financial freedom and independence for citizens. This approach helps people feel more secure and free in their financial operations, as well as protecting them from potential threats posed by digital technologies. The sixth in the series is the magic of German Christmas markets. For Germans, it is not just a holiday, but an entire season filled with coziness, traditions, and wonder. From late November through December, cities across the country light up with numerous festive lights, creating a special atmosphere of anticipation and joy. The long-awaited time, the Christmas market season, arrives, considered among the most beautiful and atmospheric in the world. In Germany, Christmas celebrations last 2 days, December 25th and 26th. These days are traditionally spent with family, surrounded by loved ones, in a quiet, cozy atmosphere, filled with gift exchanges and peaceful reflections on the meaning of this bright holiday. However, the Christmas markets that are especially popular in Germany are not just places for shopping and buying souvenirs. They are real centers of festive life, where a special joy, beauty, and quiet magic of the winter season are felt. These markets seem to come alive, filling hearts with warmth and light even on the darkest winter days, when the sun hides behind the horizon and frost draws intricate patterns on the windows. In addition to traditional and well-known markets, Germany also hosts themed Christmas markets. For example, medieval or craft fairs, where you can not only purchase unique handmade items, but also enjoy the atmosphere of the past and feel the spirit of ancient times. Such markets offer visitors not just goods, but a whole program of entertainment and shows, allowing everyone to immerse themselves in the special ambiance of a fairy tale era or traditional crafts. Now, let's move on to one of the most important aspects of German culture, its cuisine. German cuisine is known for its hearty, aromatic dishes and rich traditional recipes. It may not be as refined and sophisticated as French cuisine, nor as spicy as Thai, but it is this simplicity and richness that make it especially appealing during cold weather. German dishes are warmth and comfort, perfectly suited for winter days. Most classic recipes are based on meat, potatoes, and bread, as well as beer, which holds a special place in the country's culture. Simple to prepare yet flavorful, German food creates a sense of home comfort and traditional stability. The main symbol of German gastronomy is the Wurst, sausage, of which there are over 1,500 varieties and types in the country. Germans treat their sausages with particular respect and love. The most famous dish is the currywurst, fried or boiled sausage, sliced into pieces, and topped with a spicy ketchup called Sari. This dish is a true street food star, especially in the capital, Berlin, where it is enjoyed by both locals and tourists. Also, be sure to try Schweinsbraten, roasted pork knuckle, especially popular in Bavaria. This dish is made from juicy pork leg, seasoned with salt, pepper, and garlic, then slowly baked until a crispy crust forms on the outside, while remaining tender and juicy inside. It is usually served with sauerkraut and mashed potatoes, creating a harmonious and rich flavor combination. Such a dish is a classic of Bavarian beer halls and festive tables, symbolizing hospitality and national cuisine. In addition to meat delicacies, Germans highly value Brezel, the famous pretzel, easily recognizable by its golden, crispy crust and chewy interior. Before baking, it is dipped in a special alkaline solution, which gives it a unique taste and texture. It is eaten with butter, cheese, or sausage, making it a versatile and beloved treat. When it comes to desserts, one of the most popular and beloved is Apfelstrudel, a layered pastry with sour apples, flavored with cinnamon and raisins. Although this dessert has Austrian origins, it remains widely popular in German kitchens and bakeries to this day. It is perfect for winter evenings and festive days, filling the home with the aroma of fresh apples and spices. And of course, it is impossible not to mention beer, a beverage that holds a special place in German culture. The Rhine Code, adopted in 1516. Today's day is a vibrant and lively blend of folk traditions and festive cheer, offering a unique opportunity to experience the mystical side of life in Germany. During this time, the country hosts a variety of festivals and events that combine elements of folklore, music, dance, as well as humorous rituals associated with banishing evil spirits and malevolent forces. All of this creates an atmosphere of joy and unity, allowing everyone to feel the spirit of folk celebrations. One of the most vivid events is Fastnacht, a bold, colorful, and lively carnival that transforms cities like Cologne, Dusseldorf, and Basel into true centers of merriment and lively festivities each February or March. It is often compared to Mardi Gras, the French carnival, as both holidays are characterized by their brightness, noise, and cultural distinctiveness. However, Fastnacht has its own unique features that make it special for Germany. In Cologne, for example, on a particular day known as Februar, women traditionally stage symbolic overthrows of men by cutting off their ties. This playful, slightly humorous tradition also alludes to more serious historical struggles for equality. On this day, everything seems infused with a special spirit of fun and good-natured mischief. Children especially enjoy catching candies that fall, with a loud crash from giant platforms set up specifically for the celebration. On this day, all residents, from young children to elderly grandmothers and grandfathers, dress in bright costumes, laugh, dance, and rejoice in life. This vibrant and energetic atmosphere makes Fastnacht a true expression of Germany's most eccentric and lively cultural side. If you're interested in seeing Germany in all its unpredictable, joyful, and energetic beauty, visiting Fastnacht is definitely worth it. Besides these carnivals, Germany regularly hosts numerous other festivals dedicated to harvest, winemaking, and brewing, which are important parts of local traditions. These events allow for a deeper immersion into regional cultures, enabling visitors to experience their unique features and enjoy the distinctive flavors of local drinks and dishes. Most importantly, all these festivals create a special mood and allow one to feel the richness and diversity of the country's cultural life. Regarding the cost of living in Germany, this is a topic that concerns many who are considering moving or simply want to better understand how to live comfortably and affordably in this country. The good news is that life in Germany is much more accessible than it might seem at first glance. For example, renting a one-room apartment in the center of cities like Munich, Berlin, or Frankfurt typically costs between $760 and $1,500 per month, which is quite reasonable by European standards. In the suburbs, housing prices are significantly lower, approximately from $540 to $760. If you decide to share an apartment with a roommate or coworker, the total rent expenses can decrease to about $325 to $540 per month. Utility costs, including electricity, water, heating, and other necessary payments, typically range from $65 to $110, which is especially important during the winter months, as it's difficult to get by without heating in cold weather. Internet, essential for work, study, and entertainment, costs around $30 per month. Overall, all utility payments, electricity, water, heating, internet, usually fall within the range of $280 to $320 per month. Regarding food, cooking at home costs approximately $16 to $27 per day, which amounts to about $650 to $1,265 per month, depending on preferences and habits. Visiting an inexpensive restaurant will cost roughly $11 to $22. I am confident that this information will be quite interesting and appealing to you. At the end of the viewing, don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments, indicating the country you would like to see next in our research. Your feedback is very important. It helps us better understand your preferences and prepare more engaging and useful content. Thank you very much for your time and attention to our material. I hope our videos continue to be interesting and informative for you, and we look forward to our next meeting on this channel. It is also worth noting that Germany has a well-developed social support system, which includes various types of assistance. One of the most significant elements of this system is unemployment benefits, designed to provide financial support to those who have lost their jobs and are in difficult life circumstances. In addition, Germany provides other forms of social aid, such as subsidies, social payments, and programs supporting families, the elderly, and people with disabilities. All of this together creates a reliable support network capable of providing additional financial stability and helping people overcome difficulties related to losing their income source or other challenging situations.